Thank you very much. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone have a seat, please. We got a lot of things we're going to cover today. Is that good? Yes? We are going to cover some things that you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I have never seen them before as well. Because this is the first time I have ever talked about this particular subject. Is that good? Yes? We are going to show you something that you have never, ever seen before. We're going to show you something that's very exciting, and we're going to show you the most valuable way to create an income in the shortest time possible. Is that okay? Absolutely. So let's start off with this basic necessity. Now, some of you have been sheltered. Yes, it's true. You have been sheltered your whole lives because you have not heard of me. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tell you why you should listen to me, because some of you may be wondering, who is this guy? He talks with a funny accent, although I think that of you. And what we're going to talk about today is something pretty cool, but I've been marketing online since 1996. And what I've been doing since 1996 is very simple. I've been working with people and teaching them how to build a business on the internet. How many people in here have actually heard of the internet before? Anybody? Yes, a few of you have. And during that time, I've literally trained hundreds of thousands of people of how to build a successful business on the internet. Now, I know that some of you maybe have tried to build a business on the internet before. How many people in here have tried to build a business on the internet before? Anybody? Yeah, some of you have. Some of you, how many people want to build a business on the internet? Would that be cool? How many of you would like to go to work every morning literally dressed in only your underwear? Would that be cool? Yeah, some of you, I don't want to see that. But that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly how to do that. But also, I've developed many of the popular techniques on the internet. How many of you have ever seen a pop-up on the internet before? Yeah, that's one of the things I developed very early on, was I helped to actually develop a pop-up on the internet and actually developed one of the most popular pop-up softwares on the internet. How many people have ever been to the internet or a web page on the internet and actually seen a website actually start playing audio immediately when you first landed on that page? Anybody? Yeah, we created a service, a technology that actually did that. Right now we serve about 100 million people a month just by playing audio on the internet. Is that kind of cool? Yeah, it's kind of cool for me. And also I ran one of the longest running internet marketing seminars in the history of the internet. Now, many of you know that the internet itself has been around for an awful long time. In 1996, let me just kind of put this into perspective for you guys. There was no Google in 1996. There was certainly no Facebook in 1996. There was no any of the things that you normally see today on the internet. There was really just Yahoo. And we weren't really excited about that. But the reality is that's all we had to work with, and we had to figure everything out by ourselves because there was no one before us. In 1996, what happened is the internet browser, as you know it today, only was around for 1 year at that particular point. So there was a different game that was happening. But also, if you went to Amazon, how many people have ever been to Amazon before? Yes? If you went to Amazon and you type in my name, you're going to discover I'm one of the most popular marketers in the world of the marketing. The reality is that all these books that I just put up on the screen in front of you are actually talking about me, my strategies, the techniques I developed. And also, how many people have ever heard of the marketing term guerrilla marketing? Anyone ever hear of that? Yes? Guerrilla marketing was actually coined by a friend of mine. His name's J. Conrad Levinson. In 1994, he coined the term guerrilla marketing. And what happened was it became a household term because people could understand the idea of actually just a ground floor opportunity to actually do something with their business. And so if you open up the book Guerrilla Marketing right now today, you'll discover that book was dedicated to me and a handful of other marketers. Is that kind of neat? Absolutely, it's pretty cool. But also, here's the most important part I want you guys to understand, is that my business, and I'm one of the few marketers in the world that have actually done something very unique. And what I'm referring to is the fact that my companies has done something that very few other companies have actually done in the world of marketing. And that is we've done over $100 million in total online sales. Is that good? How many of you would like to generate $100 million in sales? Anybody? Yes? Well, here's the thing I want you to understand. Let's clarify that for a minute. Where a lot of companies are selling products and services and they get a small percentage, like maybe 10, 12, 13, 14, 15%. We make a 94% profit margin. Is that good? Yes, that means out of that 100 million, I kept $94 million out of that. Is that good for me? Absolutely. But here's the better part. In fact, let me show you and put this into perspective with you. I don't have a huge team of people. Could I have you 5 people? Could I have you, ma'am, stand up? And could I have you stand up as well, too? Could you all stand up just right there where you are? Now, the reason why I want these people to stand up is because this is the size of my whole company. I do it with 7 people. 7 people, and they all work from home. They all work from home. Why? Because I don't want to see them. That's why. They work from home. They work from Canada. They work from Minnesota. They work from all over parts of the world. But the reality is they work from home. I don't have an office. I work from home as well, too. Thank you very much. But the differences between me and you is that I actually work from home. The difference between your home and my home is this. This is my home. This home, just to kind of give you an idea as far as what it is, it's actually a 17,000 square foot, 17,560 square foot home. It has an elevator going in from top to bottom. I actually do seminars in my own home. Is that pretty cool? But more importantly, the reason I'm showing you this home is not because I want to brag. The reason I'm showing you this home is because I want to actually show you. The reason I keep playing with this is because I like hearing myself. That was a joke, by the way. But the reason I show you this home is the fact that this is the results of the techniques that I developed over the years. This is much more than a home. This is not only where I live. This is not only where I raise my children. But more importantly, this is actually where I actually do my seminars. This is where I do everything in my house. And so now some of you may be liking the idea of having a home this large. But then there's some of you may be thinking, well, that's too big. I don't want a house that big because if I had a house that big, I'd have to heat a house that big. If you can afford a house that big, you can afford to heat the house that big. That's the reality of it. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes? The reality is that this home is the results of what I've been able to do over the course of the last 16 years of being on the internet. We've been able to create different strategies and show people just like you all over the world, in every continent around the world, literally every continent around the world, and over 131 different countries around the world that we've been able to teach people how to build a business on the internet. And many of those people started just exactly where you are right now, which is actually in a seat at a seminar somewhere in the world. And many of the marketers, the top internet marketers in the world that you see today, they've actually started at the events that I put on over the course of the last 16 years. And we've been able to teach them actually how to build a business unlike anything you've ever believed. You see, the reality is that the businesses that you have the capability of creating right now is different. It's different today. It's 2012. 2012. What does that mean? It means technology is different. It means the opportunity is different. And the reality is that it's easier today to make money than ever before in history. That is the reality. That is the truth. And now some of you may have tried in the past and you may have failed. Some of you may have tried half-heartedly and failed. Some of you may have given it your all and failed, but the problem was that you tried the wrong strategy. I want to show you something absolutely different today. In fact, one of the things that I've been able to do over the years is actually be on certain lists. As your income grows, as your business grows, you get on certain lists. It's true. It's absolutely true. And some of these lists are what I would call secret lists. Are a secret list a good thing to be on? Yes, absolutely. In fact, here's the result that I had right now. In fact, it says, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, President of the Prince's Trust, requests the pleasure of the company, Mr. Arman Morin, at a gala dinner to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Prince's Trust to be held at Buckingham Palace. Now, is that kind of cool to be invited to Buckingham Palace to have dinner with Prince Charles and all these debutantes and celebrities and everything like that? Who would like that? Anyone like that? Yeah. I mean, I had this really cool experience there because I was there and Ridley Scott, the director, was there. Kevin Spacey, the actor, was there. Kathy and Rick Hilton, for those of you that don't know, that's Paris Hilton's mom and dad was there. In fact, I was sitting there with my wife. We were staying there waiting to meet Prince Charles. And all of a sudden, I'm staying there and I'm just kind of leaning up against the back door. And all of a sudden, Kathy Hilton comes up to me and she says, could you tell me where the restroom is? Oddly enough, I knew where it was. So I told her. I said, it's right there. And she said, oh, thank you very much. Then I went to my wife after, and I said, you know what? I think that she thought I was the hired help. And it's true. It's absolutely true. And so I don't like Kathy Hilton. So, but here's the other thing. I was getting ready to go to that event. I was getting ready to go to that event, and I've never been to anything like this in my life. I had a tuxedo. I had this tuxedo, and I'm getting ready, and I get everything on except my shoes and my socks. And all of a sudden, I turned to my wife. I said, where's my black socks? And she says, I thought you packed your black socks. I said, I didn't pack my black socks. And she said, well, then you don't have any black socks. And so I have two choices right now. Now remember, I am going to Buckingham Palace. I am going to meet Prince Charles. I am going to meet royalty at this particular moment in time, and I don't have black socks. I have two choices. I can wear no socks, which would be kind of a cool story. I could also wear white socks, which would also be kind of a cool story. But the reality is I called down to the desk, front desk, and I picked up the phone. I said, excuse me. I said, my name's Arman Morin, and I am getting ready to have dinner at Buckingham Palace with Prince Charles, and I don't have any black socks. Click. They hung up on me. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, these people take this whole royalty thing very seriously, right? And so 2 seconds later, I hear a knock on the front door of my room. And all of a sudden, there's a guy standing there, just like this. He goes, here. And he gives me black socks. I'm like, this is awesome. Awesome. All you need is black socks, and you're good to go. But anyway, so enough about me. Let me ask you about you guys. Is that cool? Why are you here? Why are you here? How many people own a business in this room? Raise your hand. Okay, good. How many people want to start a business in this room? Anybody? A few of you? A few of you? How many people just are simply here because they want to make more money? Period. Okay? And how many people want to learn the secret? I haven't even told you what the secret to what is. You just like, oh, I want to know the secret. It's a secret. I want to know it, right? The reality is that most people want and they think that the ability to make money on the internet is actually all about a secret. There is no secret. That's the sad part. The secret is you just don't know it yet. That's the reality of it. But I have a question for you guys. How many of you want to make millions of dollars on the internet? We make about $20 million on the internet each and every year right now with 7 people working from home. Is that a good thing? How many people would like to do that? Anybody? Yes, absolutely. Well, I have made it very easy for you guys, and I've laid it down in just 3 slides. These are the most 3 important slides that you will ever see in your whole entire career. Are you excited about these 3 slides? Yes? Let's try it again. Yes? Yes. So here's how it works. First, all you need to do is learn how each and every one of these search engines work. Everyone got that? Everything you need to know right there. Second thing, you need to learn about social media. You need to understand every single one of these social media websites. You got that? Yes, good. Then you need to know how to web design. You need conversions. You need shopping carts, autoresponder, affiliate programs. You need PPC ads. You need display ads, videos. You need to know about video marketing. You need to know about YouTube. You need to know about hosting. You need to know about customer service. You need to know about help desk. And you need to know about product creation. Everyone good? Thank you very much. My name is Armand Morin. Everyone have a great day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the question is, how many people is excited right now? Is everyone excited about that? You shouldn't be. Because the reality is that's a lot of work. What I want to do today is something totally different. I want to show you something brand new and something different. Something brand new and something different. I have created literally multiple millionaires all over the world. Some of them in Australia, some of them in the US, and some of them in various other countries. The reality is that there's a lot of ways to make money. But the key is that you need to be on the cutting edge of something that's brand new, something different. And the reality is also that some of you are sick and tired about hearing about the things that I just put up on the screen. Who's sick and tired about hearing all those different things on the screen? Anybody? I am sick and tired of hearing and telling you about those things on the screen because you know what? It is difficult. It is complicated. But here's the other piece to this. There is something different, something brand new. You see, every great success story in history has always started with 2 words. 2 words. How many words? 2 words. And those words are what if. Say it with me. What if? What if? What if? Those are the 2 great success words that people have created millions of dollars, billions of dollars with all over the world. Let me give you an example. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak sat down in a room, in a garage, literally. And what they said is that, what if there was an actual computer? They didn't have a computer. They didn't model a computer. They said, what if there was a computer out of all these other parts? And they did it. And Apple today is one of the most successful companies in history. Bill Gates said, there's a computer, and other people have computers. Well, what if we created an operating system that worked off every one of these computers? Richard Branson originally started with, as Jamie said the other day, a magazine. But then he said, well, what if people could buy records more efficiently? Mark Zuckerberg said, what if people could actually go out and actually socialize? What if they could communicate? What if they could congregate differently than they are right now? There were social networks before Facebook. The reality is that Facebook changed everything. Who's excited to hear Randy Zuckerberg in a couple of minutes? Anybody? Yeah, absolutely. You know, doesn't it suck at like Christmas time for her? You know, to hear, well, your brother, he's a billionaire. Wouldn't that stink? I mean, I would hate that, wouldn't you? Okay, some of you need to get a sense of humor. I thought it was funny, personally. You know, the only person I feel sorry for more than Randy Zuckerberg is the Pope's brother. Could you imagine sitting around at Christmas dinner saying, why can't you be like your brother? I mean, seriously, think about that. That's just got to suck right there. But here's the thing. Some friends of mine called me up a couple of weeks ago, and they said, dude, that's what my friends call me, dude. They said, dude, we've got something that is entirely different than something you've ever seen before. And the 3 people you have on the screen right now is actually Lorette Little, Alicia Little, and Greg Caesar. These are 3 friends of mine that I've known for literally years and years and years on the internet. And I've vacationed with them. They come to my house. And the reality is that they have created something different. And this is what they said to me. They said, what if there was a better way to generate sales which the world has never seen? Are you interested? I said, yes, of course I'm interested. They said, what if there was a service that you could offer which everyone said yes to? Would that be good? Yes, of course, because no one would say no. Because the biggest fear that all of you have right now is the fear of rejection. That's why some of you in this room are single. Because you fear rejection. That is the reality of it. They said, what if you could make thousands of dollars by giving away a free service? Would that be good? How many people would say no if it was free? Very few people. If I could show you guys right now how to make thousands of dollars and it was free, how many of you would want it? If it was free, stand up right now. I know it's been a long day. If it was free, how many of you would want it right now? Yes? Let's try it again. Yes? Yes, because it was free. No one says no to free. Am I right? Let's put it this way. The only people that say no to free are what I call in the U.S., and this is some lingo that you guys might need to learn, it's called idiots. The only person that says no to free is an idiot. That is the only person. Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you very much. But here's the other part. It gets better because what they also said, you don't need any Google. You don't need to know anything about Google. Is that good? Yes. You don't need to know about Bing. Is that good? You don't need to know about Yahoo. Is that good? You don't need to know about Facebook. You don't need to know about PPC. You don't need to know about SEO. You don't need a customer list, which is the biggest problem most people have. You don't need social media. You don't need advertising. You don't need any technical skill. In fact, you don't have to have any experience whatsoever. How many people are qualified right now if you don't need any experience? Anybody? Yes, everybody's qualified. But here's the thing. I want to introduce to you something brand new because right now I'm going to introduce to you something that the world has never seen. And a lot of you have heard of direct marketing. Some of you have heard of retail marketing. But I want to show you something different. Because the world always needs something different. And that's what I call freetail marketing. Freetail marketing is going to revolutionize and change the world. Companies have been doing this for years, but no one's been able to identify it, and we have. We have created a different market, a different niche, a different strategy, a different way in order to make money, which everyone says yes. What do they say? They say yes. So let's talk about this. Trends. Trends are the key as far as what drives business. Trends are what makes millionaires. Trends are also what creates billionaires. See, the secret to success is very simple. It's to find a trend and then ride it to the bank. But to find a trend before anyone else has found that trend. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes? You see, also, what we need to look at is this. The iPad started a trend. They started a trend, an iPad, a tablet, in other words. Then, what came? We had an Amazon product. We had the Kindle. The Kindle, millions of people bought the Kindle. Then Amazon said, well, we'll do you one better. We'll come out with the Kindle Fire. And then they've even improved that over the course of the last few weeks. And then even Google now has a tablet that's out there in the marketplace. You see, and also, here's the other part. There are thousands of tablets now because other people are following this trend that is appearing all over the world. And this is the part that you need to understand. You don't have to be the key player in a trend. You just have to be part of a trend in order to make money. Does that make sense to everybody? But also, smart people know is to don't create a trend. You know what happens when you create a trend? You lose money. You lose money if you create a trend. If you say, I'm going to be the trendsetter, that means you're going to be the one that loses the most money. Apple had a hard time introducing this product, but they had some difficulties as far as releasing it. They had some ideas that weren't normal. They had some ideas that were built upon previous products, such as the iPhone. But the reality is, don't create a trend. You want to find a trend, and then not just any trend, but you also want to find a growing trend. This is the key. If you want to make money, more money than you ever thought possible, is to find a trend, find a growing trend, and then ride it. But who wants to know the next growing trend on the internet today? Anybody? Yes. If you want to know the growing trend on the internet, raise your hand right now. How many people will, let's put it this way. Let's try this again. How many people want to know the next growing trend on the internet? Raise your hand. How many people just won't raise your hand no matter what I say? Raise your hand. Okay. So anyway, it's called daily deal sites. Now, some of you have heard of this. Daily deal sites, and they're very, very popular. And let me explain to you what they are. See, a deal site is the biggest trend online today. And it's probably the biggest secret right now on the internet. Because people don't understand the volume, the amount of money that is actually being generated. See, they have millions of subscribers. A deal site, and I'll share with you some of them in just a moment, has millions of subscribers. Let me ask you a question though. If you could advertise to their millions of subscribers with your product, would that be good? Yes? Some of you, yes, like, no. No, I don't want to make more money. No, yes, it would be good, but better yet, I'm going to show you how to not even have a product. How many people have a product? Raise your hand. Put your hands down. How many people do not have a product? That means the others. Okay, so now the key is you don't need a product. And you can make a boatload of money, and I'll show you how in just a minute. They spend millions of dollars in advertising, they generate millions of visitors, and their subscribers save money, and businesses make a huge amount of money with a deal site. The number one deal site right now has 150 million subscribers. 150 million. Also growing at a rate of 2 million subscribers per year, and it's the 322nd most popular website in the world. Is that good? Absolutely. It's very good, and it's called Groupon. How many people ever heard of Groupon? So how many people ever bought anything from Groupon? Anybody? A couple of you have? Good. The number two deal site has over 60 million subscribers. And they're recognized as one of the fastest growing websites in the world, and they're called Living Social. Now, anybody ever buy everything off Living Social? If you have, oddly enough, it's the same people. In other words, you guys buy everything. But also, deal sites are dangerous to businesses. They're dangerous to businesses. You see, the problem is businesses don't understand exactly how deal sites work. And instead of being happy about getting new sales and new customers, they are very worried about that scenario because they typically and many times lose money. There's a statistic that's out there floating around on the internet right now. 51% of the people that actually do business on a deal site, a local business, will never do another deal on that deal site again. And it's not because they didn't make money. It's because they made too much money. Would any of you actually find that as being a problem if you made too much money? Anyone in here have a problem with making too much money? A couple of you do. I'm like, okay, we're going to have a talk later on. You, sir, we're going to have to talk later on because there's an issue. But because they're not prepared, that's the biggest problem. You see, deal sites going around. Let me tell you about this company. There's a company in the UK called Need a Cake. Need a Cake is a company. They make cakes and they make cupcakes as well too. Does everyone understand that so far? Yes? Yes? Yes. Normally they sell 100 cupcakes a month. So what they did is they ran a coupon offer on Groupon. And so what they did is they sold 12 cupcakes for £6.50. Pretty simple, easy to understand. The results, they sold 8,500 coupons. Is that good? That sounds very good, doesn't it? They increased business tremendously. But they were typically only doing 100 cupcakes a month. 100. Now they have to make 102,000 cupcakes. This is a true story. A true story. So they didn't know how it worked, and they didn't factor in any expenses. In fact, they had to hire 12 people to actually fulfill all the orders. And they're still going through that even to this very day. But also, they didn't know that Groupon actually takes a cut for each one of the coupons that they sell. So they also lost money, but they lost 12,000 pounds. So now they got more business, and that would typically seem like a good idea, wouldn't it? But they got too much business, and they didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to prepare it. They didn't know what's going to happen next. No one prepared them, and so they lost 12,000 pounds. Do you think that they have a good idea of what Groupon is right now? If you ask them, is Groupon a good company? What would they say? They would say, no. They would say no. You see, here's how you fit in. On one side, there's businesses. How many businesses do you know right now needs more customers? Would you say a lot? Would you say every business? All businesses need new customers. And then you have the deal sites. What do the deal sites need? Businesses. The deal sites need businesses. So the businesses, I need new customers. The deal sites say, we've got plenty of customers, except we need new businesses. And they need new products in order to sell. And so where you fit in is right in the middle. You act as the conduit between the business and the deal sites. Does that sound simple so far? But here's the better part. The important piece of this is that you work for free. How many people are excited about working for free? Anybody? Yeah, that's awesome. I get to work for free. No, that sucks, right? But here's the whole deal. Let me explain. Why would a business say no? Let me give you a scenario. You walk into a business that you know right now today. How many people have walked into a business today? Anybody? How many people, let's make this easier. How many people have walked into a business this week? All of you have, unless you are a hermit and you don't go out of the house. You have walked into some type of business this week to buy something. That is the reality of it. So, you walk into the business, you say, Mr. Business Person, I want to give you more customers and make you a lot more money. Is that a pretty simple question to ask? The business person says, okay, well, how much does it cost? And you say, it's free. And the business says, what? Let's do it. That's what the business says. No business says no. And I'll explain to you how this works in a second. You see, everyone loves you because the businesses, you go out and you walk into a business and you say, I want to help you get more customers. Business says, how much does it cost? You say it's free. Now, I want you to understand something. I have trained salespeople all over the world. I have trained some of the best salespeople in the world that you've ever seen, and I've taught them how to sell products and services to businesses. But here's the other piece I want you to understand, is that if I had a day with you guys, I might be able to teach some of you how to sell. But the reality is it would still be very difficult because some of you have aversions to selling, because selling is a 4-letter word. You don't want to sell. How many people like selling? Some of you do. How many people don't like to sell? Raise your hand. Now, see, I can't teach you how to sell if you don't like to sell because you have an inherent flaw that's going through your brain right now. But here's the other piece. I want you to all hold up your hand, put your palm towards you, just like this. And I want you to put your hand in front of you right now and say this. Here. Take it. It's free. You see, I can teach anybody how to do that. You see, you guys just did it. Sales lesson is now closed. You see, the reality is that with the businesses, you work with them for free. The big deal sites, they love you because you work for what? Free. You may be thinking, well, how do you make money? Right? I'll show you that in a second. But again, the deal is that you make the difference in between. And I'll show you that how it works. See, what makes this perfect is this. You don't have to create a product. Some of you have a product that you want to sell right now. And that's okay, that's cool. Some of you don't have any idea about a product in order to sell. You don't need a product. You don't need to know anything about email marketing, which means you don't need a list. You don't have to market anything because there's no list involved. You don't need to know about social media because it's very complicated and there's a lot of social media companies all over the place. You don't need that as well too. In fact, the reasons why this is for you is because it's not technical. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to know anything about a computer. You just have to simply just offer something for free to somebody else. Is that okay? If you could offer something for free to someone else, would that be all right? Do you think a lot of people would take you up on that offer if it was for free? Yes, of course. But also, it's not selling because everyone says yes, and it's not time consuming, but more importantly is the fact that it works. Let me give you an example. There are 3 steps to getting started with how to do this, and here's what we do. First of all, we find a business. Find a business. Number 2, we structure the deal. Number 3, what we do is we find deal sites in order to advertise that business on. Very simple. Very simple so far. Everyone following me so far? Yes? Yes. So when we find a business, it could be a local business, and that's fine. And the second piece is it could be an international business, and that'd be okay too. The third piece could be an online business, and that's all right. We can do that. But here's the other piece to this. Let me give you the biggest piece of advice that would help you make more money than anything else in the world. If I could give you one piece of advice that could potentially make you millions of dollars, would you guys want to hear it? Yes? Here's the piece of advice. Australia is not the world. Okay, some of you, apparently I need to say that again. Australia is not the world. And what I mean is that there are other countries outside of Australia. Did you guys know this? It's amazing. It's awesome. It's incredible. There are like 190 countries in the world. And the reality is that you don't have to do business only in Australia. You may live in Brisbane. You may live on the outer outskirts of Brisbane. You may live in Sydney. You may live in Melbourne. I don't care where you live. The reality is that there are tons of businesses all over the world that want more customers. And you don't have to only build your business just in Australia. You don't have to only build your business in the neighborhood that you're in. You can actually go to businesses all over the world in the US, and they will eat this up big time. But here's the question is, who do you know? I want you all to take out a piece of paper right now, and I want you to write down a list. The list is very simple. Who do you know that's a hairdresser? Okay? If you know someone that's a hairdresser, I want you to write it down on the list right now, or think about it at least in your head. Who do you know that owns a hotel or a resort? I want you to write that down on their list as well too. Who do you know that owns a motel? Who do you know that owns a restaurant? Or maybe, how many of you have actually walked into a restaurant in the past 7 days? Okay? How many people knows a dentist? How many people know a chiropractor, a doggy daycare person, a clothing person or a clothing store, a retail store of any kind, a gym, a childcare service, a car wash? How many people know someone that owns a gas station or have walked into a gas station? How many people know a dry cleaner? How many people know someone that owns a health food store or an accountant or a lawyer or a real estate person or a computer person, a person that fixes computers? Now, does everyone know at least someone on this list right now? Yes? Does everyone know that you've actually walked into one of these establishments probably in the last 7 days? Would that be good? What if every person's name that you just wrote down was worth $4,000 to you? Would that be good? How many of you would walk into that establishment a little bit more? Yes? Yes, you would. Because it's that simple. Let me explain to you. You see, there's a guy that I know. His name's Bill Graves. He's actually one of our students. And Bill Graves is not an internet person whatsoever. And what Bill Graves did is he joined our program because he didn't want to go out and sell people, but Bill Graves was constantly out talking to people left and right. He went to restaurants, he went to different service stations, he went to different places. And on his first day out, after he purchased our course, he actually sent this message. He said, I signed both contracts. I got them to let me handle their deal sites for a year with an option to renew after the first year. So now what happened is he went into a local environment that he was already going to each and every day. He went to them and said, hey, I can get you more customers and more clients. And they said, how much does it cost? And Bill said what? It's free. And so they said, yes, we would love you to do that. We will do that. We will do that. And he actually got 2 clients in the same exact day. So if the average customer, the average client was worth $4,000 to him, how much did Bill make on his very first day after taking the course? 8 what? 1,000. Whatever. How many people would like to make $8,000 in a single day? Anybody? Yeah, those of you that don't raise your hands, you're lying. You're lying. I don't care how much money you make. The finding a business is very easy. See, we know what types of businesses that deal sites are looking for. This is actually falling off my head. But we know the deal sites are looking for. We also know which deal sites make the most money. You see, there's not just 2 deal sites in the whole world. There's actually about 72 different deal sites around the world right now. And they're growing by at least 10 to 20 every single month. And also, we also know which local businesses do the best, and we also know which type of businesses subscribers are actually asking for. Because what happens is that these deal sites, we change the game. Deal sites come to us, and they say, we want this type of business. And we actually give them the business. See, typically what happens is when we structure the deal, this is where you make the money. You go to a deal site, you say, I'm going to do this for free for you. Well, obviously, you're going to make money in some process. And so what we do is we structure a deal where the businesses make it or break it. We structure the deal for the most profit, and the businesses simply don't know how to do it. That's what makes you so important, is businesses know right now today that they want new customers. And if they can get them for free, then they're willing to pay you to do that in a slight roundabout way. And let me explain. Businesses, owners don't know how to structure the deal. And deal sites, they focus on building their deal site business. So structuring a deal, what you need to do is structure a win-win, where the business makes money and the deal site makes money. And then also, you make money. Is you making money important? Absolutely. It's extremely important. So you want to think like a real estate agent. A real estate agent, their primary objective is to protect the interests of the client. That's all they're doing. And that's what you're doing as well too, except it's in a different scenario. Working with the business owner and establishing an offer that puts the most amount of money in the business's pocket, and more importantly, your pocket, with the least amount of effort. You see, deal sites typically tells the business what the price is. If the business wants to offer a deal to clients, to their list of millions of people, well, what happens, the deal site says, this is what the offer is, this is all we're going to take, and that's it. And the business either says yes or no. And the deal site will either reject it or approve it. But that's if the business went to them on their own. The difference is there's no thought on the positive or negative cash flow for the business. That's why a lot of businesses lose money. They lose money on a deal. Local businesses right here in Brisbane lose money. There's no long-term business strategy and there's no preparation for the business. See, what we do, we determine a profitable price. I walk into a business and I say, I will get you X number of dollars. How much do you need to make this deal profitable for you? And they tell me a number. I say, great, we'll do that. That's the number that I will guarantee that you get. So the business makes money. Is that good for the business? Yes or yes? Now what we do is we start from a positive cash flow, and all deals are based on long-term cash flow. So the business makes more money the more longer they work with us. And every business is prepared on what's coming next, and so all deals that we make money. That's the key. But not only make money for the business, but makes money for who? You, the people that are structuring the deal. That's the important piece. Let me give you an example. Number 3 is we find the deal sites. Everyone thinks that Groupon and Living Social are the only 2 deal sites that are in existence today. It's not. There's several of them right here in Australia. What we do is we find a deal site that's appropriate. Maybe it's a local deal site. Maybe it's a national deal site. Maybe it's an international deal site where we actually sell the actual option, the product for that business to international customers. So then what we have is we have niche deal sites where it's just specific only for certain types of products. But I did some research the other day. I was in my hotel. I'm staying right around the corner up here in the Mantra. And there's a lot of local Australian deal sites. There's Kudo, there's deals.com.au, there's Scorpion, there's this company, and this company, and this company. All these different deal sites, and there's only 6. I only grabbed 6. There was actually about 30 or 40 different deal sites that I found just here in Australia. Just in Australia alone that focus 100% on Australian customers. But so what I did is I went and I found those sites. And why would you even want additional deal sites? It's very simple. You see, what we do is we expose the business to more deal sites. The more deal sites that we expose the business to, the more money that who makes? You make. The more deal money that you make. And I'll show you an example in a second. Some will bring in more than others, but here's the thing. We have a customer, a client. Her name's Ileko. She got her first deal. And she says right here, we have a actually open Facebook page where all of our clients actually see what's going on with all the other deals, with all our other clients. We don't keep our clients from each other. We actually let them talk to one another, which is actually kind of unique. A lot of people don't let their clients talk to one another, but we want people to talk to one another so they can help each other. So Living Social, it says, wants to run Ileko's deal with an Indian restaurant in Brooklyn. After eating there, chatted with the owner and said yes, and they expect to run the deal, way to go. But then, the same day, 10 hours later, it says, another congrats to Ileko. Her deal will be running on Amazon Local tomorrow. We'll share the link when it's live. And then Lorette posted, and a third congrats, Groupon also wants to run the deal. So what Ileko did in just a couple short minutes is she actually tripled the amount of money that she's going to make on every single one of these deals. If you could triple the amount of money that you make in literally just a few short hours, would that be okay? Yes? Now, what if you could build a business without spending any money? Would that be good? Yes. And what if you could start a business that everyone said yes to? Would that be all right? Yes, of course it would. What if you could have a business where your microphone would stay on? Would that be awesome? That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But no upfront costs for the business at all. And also, every project makes money. You know, there's a lot of times that maybe you're running a real estate deal. And I know that Lou and a lot of the guys were talking about real estate. What if you could start a business where every deal made money? Would that be all right? Yes or yes? Yes. What if you could have for example, I know Nick was talking about stock market, things of that nature, things that I have no idea about. But the reality is that, you know, what if you could have every deal, every trade, everything that you do always make money? Would that be good? Yes. And then also you don't have to generate traffic to a website. Would that be good? And you could tap in to literally millions of people, and then businesses call you. What if instead of you having to call a business, what if a business kept on calling you over and over again? Said, dude, I want to run the deal again. Dude, I want to run the deal again. Dude, okay, let's try it again. Dudette, I want to run the deal again. I don't want to leave out the women. So the fact is that businesses will call you to repeat the process, but here's the other piece. We work with the deal sites directly. And so deal sites call you and say, I need a dry cleaner in Brisbane. And I need them to run a deal site this week. Can you get me a dry cleaner that wants more clients this week? Would that be good? Yes or yes? Yes. And what if I'm going to pay you a boatload of money in order to do it? So how you make money? This is the question that a lot of you are asking right now. Because are some of you confused as far as how you make money if you're doing everything for free? Yes? Raise your hand if you're confused. Congratulations. Join the club. But here's how you make money. It's very simple. Contact a business. Help them for what? Free. Then you structure the deal. Number 3, you pick a deal site that you want to advertise that business on. Submit the deal. You get a percentage of the profits that the business generates. Typically 10% of whatever that business generates. Let me give you an example. What happens if you go to Groupon right now, and I say, you have a business, you want to advertise it on Groupon. Groupon's going to charge you 50%. They're going to say, we want 50% of all the sales that you generate on Groupon, we're going to keep. Would that be good? No, it would not be good. What happens, though, is the businesses are forced to say yes because they have no leverage. We know that through our leverage, through our team, through our group buying power, we can get Groupon to accept only 16%. Why? Because we have hundreds of people all over the world sending Groupon deals every single day. And part of our team is we've created special deals with Groupon through our network, through our organization, through our group. And so Groupon says, okay, I'll take 16% on that deal. You already promised the business that you were going to give them X number of dollars, remember? So what you do is you mark up whatever that business wants by approximately 10%. And you keep the difference. And I'll show you some examples in a second. So let me give you an example of my friend Teddy. My friend Teddy is a guy that has always tried to make money his whole life. He's tried all kinds of various scenarios in order to make money. But here's what happened. He works for a company, and what they do is they put photos on a canvas. They take your photo, and they put it on a canvas just like a painting. And so it's a fairly large company in the US. So what happened was he took his company, ran it through our system. Now, Teddy gets paid a flat fee, mind you, a flat fee. No matter how much more business he generates for that company, the company is always going to pay him $3,000 a month. So it kind of sucks for Teddy. But here's what happened. Teddy came to us. We ran a deal. The company, putting a photo to a canvas, generated $452,000 in gross revenue. Is that good for the company? Yes. The merchant made $267,000 for the company that Teddy works for. Teddy made $3,000 for that month working for that company. But if Teddy was an independent rep that went to that company and offered them this deal, Teddy would have made $26,000 on this one deal. Is that good? How many people would like to make $26,000 in a single deal? Yes? Yes. How much did it cost the company? Zero. Zero. The company easily would say what? Yes. That's the key on this. Teddy would have made $26,000. So now the key is, what's the lesson from all this? Don't be like Teddy. You want to make money from every person that you talk to. Andrew Clacy. Now, Andrew, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Andrew Clacy is a guy, his boss, I'm going to tell you right now, in no simple terms, was a bastard, right? This guy was from Australia. This guy, he was a big guy, very intimidating too, right? He's like 6'4", so something like this, right? Typically wears a white sport coat with jeans, and his first name's Jamie, and big guy, like this, right? And so anyways, Andrew, honestly, I first met Andrew working for Jamie McIntyre. And actually, Andrew was working at the back of the room. He was actually running the camera in the back of the room. True story. Andrew started doing this deal a couple of months ago with us. And Andrew, this is what he said actually on our Facebook post. This is our open group on Facebook, that only for our members. He says, hey guys, the deal closed. We ended up with 13 deals sold, plus new Facebook likes, plus a spike in traffic. Inquiries are continuing. Thanks to all your support, Alicia, Lorette, and Rock, and then Alicia, Lorette, my partners. And then he says, by the way, I've been offered a permanent stake in the business. So would it be kind of cool that if you went to a business and then they offered you a permanent stake in that business just for running a deal for them? How many people would like that? If you own a piece of the company that you didn't have to do jack for and someone else did all the work, would that be good? Yes? Yes. But also, who do you know? Let me get to you some real numbers. Who do you know that's a dentist? Does everyone know a dentist in the room? Yes? Okay, some of you should be raising your hand. Some of you on Monday morning, you should make an appointment with a dentist. You guys are not just getting my jokes at all. Is it my accent? Is it because I don't know? Is it the beard? Is it the glasses? I don't know. But anyway, who do you know it's a dentist? Anyone know it's a dentist? Yes? Yes. So a dentist went on the deal site and actually had 113 orders on it for $149 a piece. $16,837 generated, $16,837 times 60. The dentist made $10,000 on that deal. Is that good for the dentist? Yes? Yes. 10,000 times 10%, That means whoever structured that deal would have made $1,000 Was that good? Yes or yes? Yes. Now, who do you know that is a chiropractor? This chiropractor actually 22,575 deals done times $29, $74,000. The chiropractor made $44,000. The person running the deal on that one, $4,480 profit. So when you went to the chiropractor, if you went to your chiropractor Monday morning and said, hey, I want to get you more customers, I want to get you more clients, the chiropractor is going to say, how much does it cost? And you're going to say, it's what? Free. The chiropractor says, great. So would you think your chiropractor would be happy with you if you generated him another $44,000 in income? Yes or yes? Yes. Would you be happy with another $4,400 in income? Yes? Who would like an extra $4,400 in income next week? Anybody? Yes. This is how easy it is. Now, who do you know that owns a hotel, motel, resort, or whatever it may be? Now, if you look at this, they sold a $360 offer, 1,291 people did it, 464,000 people. The resort made $278,000. That means that on this particular deal, $27,000 in profit were generated just for the person setting up this deal. Is that good? Absolutely. Who do you know that owns a jewelry store? Jewelry is one of the most popular items that are being sold on the deal sites today. Jewelry is the deal. Let me give you an example. This one was sold for $9. 100,000 orders at $9, which means it generated $900,000 in revenue. $540,000 went to the jewelry store, and $540,000 times 10%, that's $54,000 profit. How many of you Monday morning would actually walk into a jewelry store and actually make an offer if you knew that you were going to generate $54,000 in income? Would that be good? Yes, I would bang on the doors of every jewelry store all day long on Monday morning. I would skip the seminar. I'm serious. I would do it. So these are a spa. Some of the ladies in here, maybe the men don't go to a spa as much, but some of you ladies, how many women in the audience right now have been to a spa within the last 30 days? Anybody? A few of you? Now, if you went to that spa in the last 30 days, that spa, for example, here's a small deal, 180 times $134, that's $24,000. Spa made $14,000. You made $1,447. Would that be good going to a spa if you made $1,400 just for going there? Yes? Yes. But 900, here's more examples. This is a small town. You don't have to live in a big town. This is a small town in Atlanta, Georgia called Smyrna. In Smyrna, they had 940 people bought this nail salon from this nail salon right here. We had 560 people bought this kids Zoom at $15 a piece. We had 570 people at Angel Nails, a nail salon. 540 people bought times $28. You figure out the math, it's pretty good. 200 people bought tennis lessons just in Smyrna, Georgia. We had over 1,000 people bought frozen yogurt at this particular resort at $5, this particular area at $5. We had 430 people buy Spa Kids, a spa for the kids, for little daughters. My daughter, every once in a while, my daughter wants to go to places like this. And then, but here's the question. Some of you think, but Armand, that's Smyrna, Georgia. They are freaks there, right? Well, does it work in Australia? Do people buy stuff on deal sites in Australia? Yes? Yes, let me show you what happens in Brisbane alone. 801 people bought this deal in Brisbane, just in Brisbane. Just in Brisbane, $24 times 801, that's a lot of money. 15,000 people bought this 2 diamond earrings for $19 in Brisbane alone. 202,000 people bought in Brisbane alone this ghost tour. If you want to take a ghost tour in Brisbane, you can spend $13, go on this ghost tour, and you're going to be able to see exactly how this whole deal went. Is that pretty cool, yes? Yeah, a ghost tour. 2,170 people in Brisbane bought how to get your professional photo turned into a flip book. In Brisbane, just Brisbane alone. I'm not counting all the other cities. I'm not counting all the other towns. I'm talking about just Brisbane proper, and that's it. 1,073 people bought a $45 discount voucher at this particular restaurant. So it's easy. Here's another student. Thank you. Got all the contracts in. Moving another 3 hotels in the works. Waiting on final approvals. I've structured 10 deals already. Once I get that, I'd love to chat on the execution of them. They didn't even care how to put them together. They're just like, I got 10 deals. They went out and got 10 deals literally in the first week. Is that good? Yes. Here's another example. The key is to rinse and repeat. Let me give you an example. You don't need big companies. You don't need big deals. You don't need big people doing this. There is a small resort. Now, when I say the term resort, it's very, very loosely used because it was a 2-cabin resort. So can you call a resort with 2 cabins an actual resort? I don't know. But the reality is they had 2 cabins. So we ran a deal for them, and it generated $2,287 worth of profit for us. Is that good? Absolutely. So what we did was we ran it again on a different deal site. So we did $3,844 worth of profit. Then what we did is we ran it on Living Social. Same offer. We generated $4,209 worth of profit in August alone. In August alone, just for that one 2-cabin resort. But here's what they did. With the money that they generated from the first 2 offers, they started building 2 more cabins. So now we can start advertising on our next run 4 cabins. So we can expect to double the profit. So when we run this again, we expect to generate about $5,000 worth of income, and we expected to run again after that about another $5,000 worth of income for about $21,000 worth of income from one 2-cabin resort for 1 year. $21,000 off of one deal, one company. Is that good? $21,000. What did you have to do? Did you have to build a list? Did you have to build a list? No. Did you have to market it? No. Here's how the deal goes. Your company says, yes, I want to run this deal with you. You pick up the phone, you say, Armand, I got this deal, this company, I want to run the deal. Can you connect me into Groupon? I said, okay, great. So we then pick up the phone, I 3-way you into Groupon. I called Groupon, I said, hey, this is my new partner that I'm working with. I want you to give them the best treatment as you possibly can. And then I said, okay, well, you guys take the deal over from here. Groupon then works with you. They put you at the front of the list, and they start working with you directly. Does that sound good? How much time do you have invested in the deal? About 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. Is there a long turnaround? No, because they start running the deal almost immediately. But the rinse and repeat is very simple. If we had one small property that generated $21,000 worth of income, well, from one small client, if we had 10 clients, that's $210,000 a year. Would anyone like to make an extra $210,000 this year? Anybody? Yes. 10 clients. 10. Am I talking about setting the world on fire? No, absolutely not. 10 clients. I can walk down the street tomorrow and I can get 10 clients. Now, 20 clients, you'd have to make over $422,000 a year. We have people right now that are on track literally in the first week to generate over $150,000 their first year in 7 days. Who would like to generate $150,000 income in 7 days? Wouldn't that be good? Yes? Yes. And then you could invest in all the other things that you want to do. But the reality is, it's very simple. We created a simple plan. You see, let's not talk about big numbers. Let's just talk about $1,000 for every deal that you run. Let's assume that you generated $1,000 in profit. Is that fair? Yes or yes? Yes, so now let's look at this. $1,000, and you run the same deal across 4 different deal sites. 4 different deal sites. So that means you would make $4,000 off one client. Is that good? But now what we do is we run that $4,000 offer times 4 times a year. So on 4 different deal sites, we run it 4 times a year, which means we generate $16,000. Is that good so far? One client still. Then we take that $16,000 and we go out and we get 16 clients. Just 16. We're not talking about a lot. That means that you built a business that's doing $250,000 a year. And how much time and effort do you have to do? Literally 5 minutes a month. 5 minutes. Would anyone here, let me ask you a crazy question. Would anyone here take 5 minutes of their time every month to make a phone call, 2 phone calls, 3 phone calls, and then make $250,000 a year? Does that sound good? Yes? Yes, absolutely, and it's that simple. You see, the big question is, are you ready? Are you ready? The question is this: who wants to give away something for free and make boatloads of money in the process? Does anyone want to do that? Yes? It's very simple. We have students all over the world. Here's the difference. The difference between our systems and a lot of systems that you may see is our system works. We openly display what we do with our clients open to every other student that we have, which means nothing is held behind the scenes. When you join with us, you actually belong to a Facebook group where you see all the deals transact. You see all the other students and what deals that they're working with. You see exactly what they're doing, and you can ask questions, not privately, publicly. Does that sound different? Yes? Because now you know how well it works. In 16 years of being on the internet, I have generated over $100 million. I average $20 million a year. I have trained literally millionaires upon millionaires upon millionaires all over the world, and many of them right here in Australia. The reality is this, is that in 16 years of being on the internet, I can show you how to create a membership site. I can show you how to develop a product. I can show you how to create your own recording. I can show you basically how to be famous, but I have yet to see something so simple that tomorrow morning you could walk into the gas station, you could walk into the dry cleaner, you could walk in to the jeweler, you could walk into the grocery store, that people would say, hey, I want to generate you more clients, I want to generate you more customers, and there's nothing that you need to do. You do not pay me a dime. You only pay me if I produce for you. How simple is that? Is that easy? Yes? Yes, that's what we're talking about. What we have is called deal site profits. Deal site profits is what we put together. It's very simple. It's very straight to the point. It's number one is getting started. We show you what to do, how to generate your first clients in that first week, that first 7 days. The deal sites, we show you how to research and find out what is selling on the deal sites so you can target market the people already. We show you how to get businesses. The reason why getting business is easy is because the reality is that if the businesses themselves, if it doesn't cost them anything, how many businesses do you think say no? Would anyone say no? If they say no, they are a what? Idiot. That is what they are. Number 5, structuring the deal. All you have to do is structure the deal. The deal is very simple. You want to make it profitable, you tell the business how much do you need. The business tells you how much they need. Great, we'll work with that. That's what structuring the deal really means. The deal sites, we work with them individually. Getting paid, it's very simple. The business pays you the money how to generate out of profits. If you don't make the business any money, they don't pay you. The reality is this. Every deal that we've structured over the course of the last 6 months has always made money. Our students are walking out with an average of $1,000 plus profit per deal with only about 5 to 10 minutes worth of work. Is that good? Yes. Now, next, preparing the business. We show the business what's going to happen. We show what's going to happen during the deal, and we show them what's going to happen after the deal and how to get more traffic, because the money that the business makes after the deal is actually sometimes even more than during the deal. And we show them actually how to monetize that so the business makes more money. Then what we show them this. We show them how to track clients. We show you how to track clients for the biggest profits. We show you case studies for numerous niches. You see, we have students all over the world right now that are actually doing this. The funny part is we only have a few clients in Australia right now. And this is the part that we're really working on, is getting people in Australia to actually introduce this, because no one else in Australia except for 1 or 2 people are actually doing this. So if no one else is doing it, do you think there's a huge opportunity? Yes, but better yet, in the whole world, the number of people and students that we have doing this right now are actually, there's only a couple hundred. A couple hundred people in the whole world, and every single student that we've put through a deal for us has always made money. That's the most important part. We show you email templates to contact students, contact businesses, and we have ready-made presentations. We show you exactly what to say to the business, how they should do it, and how it works. We show you exactly the business building tools. There's questionnaires, surveys, in order for the business, in order to get them to do the deal. We show them step-by-step checklists. We show you the profit sheets. You see, the key is, this is a business. This is a business. It only takes a few minutes, but it's really simple. It's very simple. It's very easy to do. But we give you all the paperwork that you need as well, too. And what we have is we have what's called a deal site search engine. This doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. The reason why is because the deal site search engine works like this, is that you have a deal. And let's say it's in Brisbane, or maybe let's say it's in Sydney, or maybe it's in Melbourne, or maybe it's in somewhere else in the world. Remember Andrew Clacy? I told you, the guy that used to work for Jamie? Do you know where that deal was actually done in? South Africa. He did not go to a local business here in Brisbane. He did not go to a local business in Melbourne, where he lives, but he went to South Africa. And the reason is because businesses all over the world, you are not restricted by where you live. And that's the most important piece. We built this deal site search engine. So what you do is very simply, you enter in the country where you live, and then what you do is you enter in the type of product that you have, the city, and then what you do is you enter in the type of category. And what it does is it brings back all the different deal sites that are available to you in your area. So now you may have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deal sites that you can actually go with. And here's the great part, because all the deal sites that we entered in the search engine, we actually have contracts with. We actually have already talked to them. We have already set up special arrangements for them, and you can use our special arrangements. But also, here's an example. Zahira, I personally knew of only 2 deal sites, and those were the ones I was going to list my client on, but then I found the search engine and found 3 additional sites. So what she did is she essentially almost tripled the amount of money that she made by simply using the search engine, and that's why we created it. So now also we have a deal site calculator. You want to know how much money the company needs to make? It's very simple. You enter in the percentage of the company the deal needs to make, or the company, the percentage of that you need to make, the percentage that the owner needs to make, and then you click a button and it filters out and creates all the numbers that you need. But also what we did is create a deal site profit calculator on an iPhone, or actually an Android app as well too, where people just enter in all the details and it's already done for you. So if you're in with a client, you pull up this calculator and you enter in the details as far as what the client needs to know, and you know exactly what the numbers are in order to make that deal profitable for the client. Again, the client always makes money. You always make money. Is that good? Yes? Yes. But also, on top of that, we're going to give you your own website. Your own website. We have already developed these websites already. We have clients and students using them all over the world. These websites are all designed to get more clients for you. All you have to do is simply plug in the websites, upload it, and it automatically does all the work for you. And we're even making newer renditions of this. But the better part yet is there's something I'll tell you about a little bit later on. But these websites, they're all functional. All your content's already up there. There's an autoresponder message already included in it. You can edit, change it. You can do whatever you need as you want on it. But also, you're going to get everything that we talked about today, all the custom tools, the calculator, everything that we've talked about. But at the same time, we have a mastermind. Remember I told you that everything that we do is actually open. It's open to the public. And so we have a private mastermind. We actually run it on Facebook. And the reason why we do it is because everyone typically is on Facebook. You can actually communicate. You can talk with all our people. You can talk to other students. You can see exactly what they're doing. Everything is public. Every time that a student gets a new deal, we post it there. We tell you the details of the deal. We tell you what they did. Everything that we do is totally transparent. It's open to everybody else. Everyone sees exactly what's going on, and you can see the number of deals that we have going through the site every week. Typically on any given day, there's 3 to 4 different new deals going on right now, and you can see exactly what those are. Every other week, we do live questions and answers with everybody, but also we have a one-on-one coach. Now, this is also different. Because what we do is we have a one-on-one coach. So if you need help on anything, you basically set up an appointment. Our coach calls you up and says, okay, what do you need help with? And they walk you through the deal. They walk you through the whole deal step by step and as far as you setting it up. But also, on top of that, we give you our connections. You see, we don't make a dime if you go ahead and actually work directly with Groupon, with Living Social, with any of our other deal sites. We will, and we encourage you to actually pick up the phone. We will go ahead, set up the deal. We will set up the deal with you on the phone. We will introduce you to our contacts. They will work with you, and they will actually give you the same deals that they would give us. So you jump to the front of the line. But also, you're going to get everything that we have today. So you get all these different things, a complete business in a box. What makes this exciting is there's not another program that exists out there. You don't need to take and invest $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 in additional to this. What happens is tomorrow morning, you wake up, on the way in, you stop by a cafe, you have a cup of coffee, you say, I'd like to bring you more clients. The cafe says, okay, how much is it going to cost? You say, it's what? Free. The cafe says, yes, I will do it. You set up the deal, and then you start making money. It's that simple. But also as a special bonus today, and this is one of the most valuable parts of the whole program, is this. So are you guys ready? Yes? The way this works is very simple. You will partner with us if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to. If you don't want to do any of the work, that's all right. You make the contact with the business. You contact us. We then contact the business. We work and help structure the deal. Together, we handle the correspondence between you and the business. Our team does all the work, and then at the end, we split the revenue 50-50. Does it sound fair? Yes? So all you have to do is talk to the business. Do you want to make more money? Yes? Here. I'll have someone call you. Is that pretty simple? And then you split the revenue with us 50-50. It's very simple. So again, you're going to get everything that we've talked about today on this whole program. Again, the whole deal size program, it's a total of $24,000. But here's the other piece. On top of this, you're also going to receive the ability to accelerate this. You see, one of the things that I'm known for all over the world, if you search my name on the internet, you're going to discover that my name's on about 1 million websites. And one of the things I'm known for is actually marketing and figuring out how to market it. I developed a system that goes on top of this called the 3D marketing system. And what this 3D marketing system does is accelerates the income that you could possibly make with this. If before we could only make $250,000 with only 16 clients, I'm going to show you how to make that 10 times over. And the reason is because we develop systems and do it. I'll show you how to get your client your first week. Typically, when you go through this training, you'll get your client your first day. First day, guaranteed, you'll get your first client. It's that simple. Number two, I'm going to show you how to discover how local businesses ringing your phone off the hook. You don't want to sell. No one likes to sell. No one even likes to talk to people. But the reality is, what if you could just have people calling you up and say, hey, I want to run a deal. Would that be good? Yes or yes? Yes. So I'm going to show you how to get businesses to refer you to their friends. When you do one deal, every business that you do a deal with will refer you to all their friends. On top of that, we'll show you how to have an endless supply of leads for free. And then I'll show you how to use the internet to give you all the business that we want. I ran a test last week before I came here. I ran a simple ad. Oddly enough, I actually ran it on Facebook. I ran an ad on Facebook. I ran it for literally half a day, and then I shut it down. I ran it for half a day because I shut it down because we had over 20 plus clients actually contact us wanting to know how can they get their deal through us. Is that pretty simple? Yes, you run an ad. I give you the same ad that I ran. I show you exactly what to do. We use Facebook in order to do it. I'll show you my closing strategy to get a business on the phone and actually close them literally within 5 minutes, because that's what we do. And I'll show you the Facebook lead generator that I use, and I'll show you how to develop your own lead machine, and I'll show you how to niche factor. I'll show you how to niche this down so you have a certain amount of credibility within a certain niche. But again, we'll show you how to quadruple the income, because getting the deal is just one part. But what if you could have each business that you talk to paying you monthly residual income every single month? Would that be good? What if they would gladly pay you monthly residual income every single month? I have over 200 reps out in many different continents all over the world. And what they do is they deal with local businesses. And I teach them exactly how to do it. In fact, I have one person right here in Australia right now. He's generating over $100,000 every single month. Who would like $100,000 a month right now? Anybody? Yes. I mean, just by simply offering businesses services that you can outsource. I'll show you my presentation formula, how to get your clients to gladly even pay you even more. I'll show you how to get your clients to be your own walking, talking billboard. That's the other piece to this, is that your clients will gladly tell everyone else about you, because what did they have to do? Nothing. It's nothing. Think about this from the client perspective. I did nothing. I talked to this person. They did all the work, and I made all this extra money. Is that a good deal for the client? Yes, absolutely. So again, I'll show you my 100% close. Now, this is something that I'm really excited about, because every person I've actually taught this close to has always bought. They've always said yes. There's not a single person that has said no. 100% close, is that a powerful close? Yes, because basically, in no other uncertain terms, if they don't do it, they are a what? Idiot. They are an idiot. So they will say yes. And so you're going to get the whole 3D marketing system for $49.97 as well too. So you're going to get everything that we've talked about today in this whole program. You're going to get all the support, everything that we talked about, a one-on-one coach. You're going to get all the things that we've talked about on this, $24,000 worth of value, plus the 3D marketing system is $49.97. Plus also you're going to receive, those of you that want this, if you get up right now, you're also going to get this. In 30 days from today, I'm actually coming back here to Brisbane once a year. Once a year, I do an event called Arman Morin Live. Armand Morin Live, I'm doing it in Brisbane this year. Typically, I do it in Sydney. We have trained literally thousands of people that have come through the door on the different internet marketing strategies that I've done and the new things that I'm doing. Things like, for example, on Facebook. On Facebook, for example, the last event that I did here in Brisbane, I actually did 25,000 people. I made a Facebook page, and we generated a $25,000 person page in literally 48 hours. Is that pretty good? How many people would like 25,000 fans in 48 hours? Yes? Okay, some of you apparently don't understand the value of a fan. So, how many people would like 100,000 people on their list in 24 hours? That'd be good. Yes? That's exactly what we did. Actually, another event that we did. And so we're going to show you exactly how to do that. We're going to show you there's no other speakers at this event. I do this once a year in Australia. And what we do is we show you, for me teaching you for 2 full days, learning by layers, building strategies. We're going to do everything. We're going to show you exactly what we do, how I generate literally $20 million. I take you inside my company, show you exactly what we do, the products that we create, how we drive traffic. I generate 6 million visitors a month to my website. Again, typically all by myself. And I just do it by simple strategies that anyone can do. How many people here would like 6 million visitors a month to their website? Anybody? Yes. What if I could show you how to generate 100,000 visitors to your website in 20 minutes? Would that be good? 20 minutes from now. Who has a website right now? Who would like 100,000 visitors in 20 minutes? Okay, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. How many people would like a list? How many people have a list right now on their website? Anybody? How many people would like to build a list, an email list of people? Anybody? Let's just put it this way. If you don't have a list, that's probably why you're not making money. So you need a list. I will generate a list live in front of you of 1,000 people within 30 minutes. Brand new people. I'll show you exactly how we do it because we do things a whole lot different than other people do. We'll show you exactly all the different strategies, but this is the one you want. It's over $31,000 worth of value. You're gonna get everything today, but you're not gonna pay that. Because you see, the difference is this works. Our students actually make money with this. So for example, this is a student, this is Pete. Pete generated a 68 gym deal. 68 gyms are running his offer, and he's gonna make a piece of every one of these 68 gyms. That's 68 different offers that he did in just his first couple of weeks. We're gonna show you our students, again, like Brendan. Brendan made his first deal in the first week. In 12 minutes, actually not too long after he posted this, he made his first deal. We're gonna show you on this is August 17th. This is when I put it through. Susan got her first deal. We're gonna show you again Rick's first deal. This is Lorette's, this is actually Kimberly's, or Jared's first deal. Jared actually had 2 deals on the same exact day where he posted this whole thing. We have another one. This is actually from our Facebook page. Now again, every time someone makes a deal, we actually show people exactly this is what they did. This is how they did. You can talk to them. You can ask questions. This is totally open. People can see exactly what we're doing because it's not a big secret. We got John's first deal right here. This is Sandra's first deal. This is another student. This is actually David's first deal. This is the one you want because you're going to get everything that we've talked about in this whole program. $24,000 worth of value just on the deal site profits alone. You're going to get also the 3D marketing system, $49.97. You're going to get 2 free tickets to Arman Morin Live right here in Brisbane. Where in Brisbane? I'll tell you what. Upstairs, take the escalator up to the next level. That's where we're doing it, so you really can't miss it. It's very simple to get to. So we're going to do it right upstairs here in Brisbane. But one more huge bonus. So are you guys ready for this one? Because this one's pretty cool. Here's the question I have for you. If you get up right now, what if you got paid on hundreds or maybe even thousands of deals? Would that be good? Yes. And what if you didn't even have to create those deals? Would that be better? Yes, absolutely. So the entity which makes the most money on a deal site is actually the deal site. That's the reality. The reality is the deal site makes the most money. So what we've done is we made an arrangement. This company that we partnered with have created deal sites for some of the biggest companies in the world. And what they decided to do is to give all of our students, once they've achieved a certain level, their own deal site. And they're going to do it for free. Would that be good? Yes? So again, you're going to get your own. I'm just going to pull this out this way. You're going to get your own deal site. So you're going to get everything. It's over $41,000 worth of value. Total value on everything today right now. You're going to get all that. Again, $41,000, $967 worth of value. It's $49.97. If you want to work with us, I guarantee that in your first week that you will get your first deal. Your first deal within your first week. That means that first deal will be worth at least $4,000 for you. If you again take a look at this, how easy it is to go up to a business and actually say, here, take it, it's free. Is that simple? Yes? Yes or yes? So again, I want you on my team. If you're one of the first people to get up right now, I will finance you today on this. If you want to work with us, I have made millionaires. I have made many people in this room millions of dollars. And the reality is I will make you millions of dollars if you follow my simple strategies. I will finance you today on this. All you have to do is get up, go to the back. What they'll do is they'll take care of all the details. The reality is that this system works. We have students from all over the world. They're going to be working with you. And here's the other piece. All you have to do is put down $18.97 today and then 2 payments of $18.97. That's it. You get started immediately, which means as soon as we get the list from Jamie's team, all we will do is send you the access to start the training, to start the program immediately. And the thing is that this offer, we have 10 minutes. You see, here's the part that I want you to understand right now. How many people have seen something this weekend that they've liked? Yes? Yes? Now, all those deals are great. I mean, there's great offers that people have made, and all of them are fantastic because all these people are my friends. Laurel had a great, amazing offer. How many people like Nick earlier today? Yes? He talks fast, doesn't he? The reality is this, is that all these different programs are fantastic, but the thing that makes this different is the reality that this particular program right now is that you are going to a restaurant tomorrow. Many of you are going to a restaurant tonight. Some of you will be going to a gas station tomorrow. Some of you are going to get your hair done on Monday. Some of you are going to go to the dry cleaner on Monday. Some of you are going to go all these different places. Every place that you go to is worth at least $4,000 each. You can go there and you can pay them money, or you can go there and have them pay you money. Which would you rather have? Does that make sense to everyone? Now, here's the other piece. What if you could take that leverage and actually spawn it all over the world? If by taking it all over the world, what happens is very simple, is that you can take that with just a few clients, turn that from a few $100,000 to a couple $1 million. And we have students right now that are on track for a whole lot more. So again, we want to work with you. We have a tremendous system. It's all open, and the fact is that you guys will be the first group that we'll actually be training formally here in Australia. Is that cool? Yes? So again, we've got a great event that's coming up. We've got a great speaker that's coming up right next. Her name's Randy Zuckerberg. How many people ever heard of Facebook? Yes? If you've heard of Facebook, you're going to love Randy. She's got a lot of great things. She's done some amazing stories, and you're going to be fascinated with her because I'm really excited about meeting her as well. So again, thank you all very much. My name is Arman Morin. If you have any questions, I'll be at the back of the room, and we'll talk even soon. Bye-bye, everybody.